Checking, we're all good. Check, 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 check. 1, 2, check, check. Here we go. Alrighty, we are live in 3, 2, 1. No slurs. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the studio. I am your host, Angel Bernard. What's going on? How's it going? How's it going, everybody? Coming to you live from our famous podcast set. That is not my bedroom. It is an exact recreation of my bedroom in an office in a high rise of downtown San Francisco. That is where our famous podcast set is, coming to you live for the second official episode with video. I'm pretty excited to get this new feature, I guess you could call it, to have this new addition to the podcast. The video has me a little bit, excited coming to visit. I just have there's so much more opportunities, for racism, hatred, venomous ranting. There is so much more opportunity for that now that we have video, and I can show you guys, some bullshit Instagram reel that I'm gonna be that I let dictate my entire week. I can now show it to you guys instead of having to autistically describe it via audio description. But yeah, we are back. Feels really good. How was your guys' week going? My week was fine. The weeks are flying by, huh? The weeks are flying by. And also, just as a side note, before we get into it anymore, what I'm looking at is I'm essentially looking at the camera setup, like all the buttons and the switches and cut the mic, that type of bullshit. That's what I'm looking at. The camera is right there. It feels weird, like staring down the barrel of a camera. You get what I'm saying? Like, it feels like I'm about to do something horrific, or confess to crimes that are beyond human comprehension. My name is Walter Hartwell White. I live at something Negra Arroyo Lane. That's kind of what it feels like when I'm staring directly down at the barrel. It makes me uncomfortable. So I got this nice little peripheral, the everything that the light touches, I have my eyes on. This is my kingdom right here. I got my eyes on across multiple screens. Maybe I'm looking at a couple stock prices as they rise, as they fall in real time. Maybe I'm recording this while I do some shady overseas deal in the Chinese markets. Maybe I'm doing that while I say shit jokes. I'm a man of many, many talents. Anyways, where were we, people? My week. How was my week? I haven't even really sat back to think, how was my week? It's life. It goes on. I feel like we're hitting a point of speed as a society where we're kind of moving on, where if you spend more than, I'll give it 10 minutes. You spend more than 10 minutes a week reflecting how your week was, what the coworker said to you at the office that made you feel a little weird. Your boss, how they keep looking at you. Maybe they want to fire you. Maybe they want to fuck you. Like, you're not entirely sure. I will give you 10 minutes every 7 days to reflect. What does that even mean? What the hell does reflect even mean? This country has so many stupid people in it. Are we even capable of reflecting as a society? Are we even capable of reflecting as a society? Because that does take some level of intelligence. Like when I first moved to the city, I used to like reflect on all of the interactions that I would have with see, it looks too weird. It looks too weird just like, telling the story, just staring at a camera. I don't know. Uh, but yeah, when I first moved to the big city, when I first packed up my shitty car and left my shitty hometown and went to the big city of San Diego to chase my dreams. Whenever I did that first few months, whenever you have an interaction with people, it's the city. People tell you to go fuck yourselves. Old ladies are telling you to kill yourself. It's a brutal, brutal place to live. And I used to, reflect again. There's that word that I hate now. I used to kind of think about those interactions and be like, well, was it something I did wrong? Maybe I could have been nicer. And then I realized I should probably stop doing that because I am wasting my own energy with people who are so dumb that they cannot reflect or analyze a conversation that they have. Do you get what I'm saying? So why would I spend my energy, my time, relive those emotions whenever the other party is 1,000% not doing that? Why would I waste my time? And a lot of you are like, wow, Angel, that's a little sick. That's cold-hearted to think. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. I forgot where I was even going with that little riff there. All right, I was able to go back thanks to the power of editing. Thanks to the power of editing, I was able to go back and see what the hell exactly I was even rambling about. And a lot of you are like, well, Angel, if you had any semblance of intelligence, you would be able to just kind of keep riffing and remember what you said. But I got it now. I got it. All right, I was talking about how I will give you 10 minutes to reflect, recap, process, whatever the hell. Unless it's like a really bad week, someone dies, things like that. Obviously, I'm not saying to just process a death in your life in 600 seconds. I'm not saying that. But I'm also not saying that. Anyways, I will give you 10 minutes. If you just have a regular shitty, I hate the corporate 9 to 5, whatever, everything is soulless in this world. I should probably get on antidepressants. I will give you 10 minutes to process those feelings at the end of the week, and then we got to move on. And then we got to move on, buddy. I'm sorry. All right, the game is going to be on. I got work to do. I got emails to answer. I got an old lady that won't stop bitching at me. I got a bunch of other shit going on. I can't spend my time listening to you. We're gonna push on at this point because I'm pretty sure I'm just talking in circles and I don't wanna bore you guys with my nonsense. This past weekend I went to see Scream 7. I know. I said this last week, and I said I was open to the criticism of you guys giving me shit and chirping me for enjoying the Scream series. Okay, it's a nostalgia thing for me. I love horror movies in general. It's just one of my favorites. I apologize. I know I tend to be very pretentious and write literally probably 95% of all movies and music. I tend to immediately write it off. But yet I am still going and spending $20 on a movie ticket to see Scream 7. I understand. I see the hypocrisy. I see the criticisms, and they are valid. I hear you. But I went to see it. I what can I say? What can I say? I heard someone describe it as corporate slop, and I feel like that kind of describes it best. I'm not saying it was I'm not saying it was bad. I was going to say I'm not saying it was bad, but it wasn't great. We'll start there. All right, it wasn't great. And the only reason I am being lenient with my grading is because of my obvious bias. So we'll have that as probably the biggest factor as to why I am not coming on this podcast and saying it was a giant piece of shit, which some may argue that it is, and they would be making some valid points. They would be making some valid points by saying this was a giant hunk of shit that should have never been made. I'm not going to argue with that. But it was a fun watch. You know, did it make much sense at the end? Not really. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't want to spoil. Hey, guys, I don't want to spoil Scream 7 for you guys. I don't want to spoil Scream 7, the horror movie of the year. I don't want to spoil that for you guys. So I'm not going to give anything away. But the ending, there's a dog barking in the background. Please ignore any background noise that you may hear. I may have to call the dog pound and make an anonymous claim of abuse if this dog keeps barking and interrupting my show. Okay, it stopped. Cool. What the hell was I saying? Scream 7. Not great. The ending didn't make any sense. Was the location setting, were the filming location generic? Yes. Were they not in Woodsboro anymore? They're not there. Did they waste the opportunity in Scream 6 when they were in New York City? Did they waste that opportunity with beautiful cinematography and all those opportunities that they had? Of course they did. But with that being said, it was a fine experience. And again, this is my bias speaking. And also, I went to see them. I went to the movie theaters to see it. And I feel like if you go to the movie theaters to see any movie, that immediately will give you, it makes the film seem better. Right? You're putting a shitty painting in an expensive art gallery. That's what you're doing. So, all right, this whole thing, the presentation, the experience of it, which some would argue is half the battle. That is phenomenal, which it was. I love just the experience of waiting in line, getting the popcorn, getting the drinks. They have those fountain drinks where you can mix and match the high-tech technology ones. You know what I'm talking about? They have those. They have the self-serve butter. Self-serve butter, which the last thing that Old Glasses needs, the last thing that this country needs is self-serve butter at the movie theater. But I'll allow it. Chubby Glasses over here, he got himself the biggest soda possible. Large popcorn, and he spent maybe 90 seconds at the self-serve butter. Under the butter thing, shaking it and shaking it, just letting the cholesterol really seep in. They offer alcohol at the movie theater now. I'm not sure if that's at every AMC, but the one near where I am, the one I went to, they offer alcohol. I wasn't feeling it. I came this close to just kind of, all right, hey, give me 2 IPAs. I'll carry them both, one in each hand. And I'll carry the popcorn just in between my arms and just tucked in my arms, just holding 2 beers like this. I almost did that, but decided to keep it healthy. Got a vanilla Coke instead. Waddled my happy ass into the movie theater and watched Scream 7. And I will be honest, I went in expecting the absolute worst for a couple of reasons. I went in expecting the absolute worst. Um, because obviously I had been seeing, on YouTube. I'm a film bro, so my YouTube algorithm, it recommends, movie reviews to movies that I might want to see. And I've been, seeing just constant reviews for Scream 7 saying like, "Oh, this is a hunk of shit, corporate slop. Don't waste your time." So I went in expecting the absolute worst. The absolute like truly the worst thing. And it wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. Some parts were pretty bad. Um, but it wasn't the mess that I expected. And I think I got to be honest, I'm not entirely sure where they go from here with this movie. I mean, it's pretty obvious that they are just going to go with the kind of the Scream format of just copy and paste until we hit Scream 15. And I will be going to all of them. I will go. I will go to Scream 18. You think I won't? You genuinely think I won't? I will go. Um, so it's kind of obvious that's the direction that movie series is going, which is a damn shame. Damn shame, because that series has so much potential to be great. But ever since Wes Craven died, they've essentially just been taking a piss on his grave. Rest in peace, Wes. You deserve better. Yeah, what's his name? Kevin Williamson. Is that his name? That guy, he's got to go. The buddy, you got to go. I'm sorry, Kevin. I know this is a big Hollywood podcast, and a lot of influential people listening to this. James Cameron, he was messaging me last week saying that he loved the show. Tarantino, he sent me an email, just him saying the N-word like 1,000 times, and when he hit the character limit in the email, but it was just never mind. This is a very big Hollywood podcast. Everyone knows that. So Kevin, if you're seeing this, it's time to let the reins go. Okay? And Disney, Bob Iger, which I know you're definitely watching, if you even come within the vicinity of Scream, I will kill myself. Okay, Disney, if you come within the vicinity of Scream, I will kill myself live on the air. I will go on YouTube, go on live, and I will execute myself if Disney buys Scream. So yeah, not a great film. Can't wait for Scream 8. There was another part of the whole, going to the movie theaters that really did not help the experience, my movie experience as a cinephile, as a cinephile, my experience was capped per se. Let me tell you something, dude. I was in that movie theater, chubby old me, thick glasses, eating my heart out, drinking my diabetes. I'm probably like one of the first rows. You know how like there's that little tunnel, and usually you'll like hook a left or a right or whatever to kind of enter the main seating. I'm eating all my calories, and I'm one of the first rows. Whenever like you make a left, and then there's like the stairs and shit. Dude, someone walks in with a baseball hat and a backpack. Alone. Someone walked in with a baseball hat, a backpack, completely alone. No snacks, no drink, no popcorn. I was like, who let this fucking guy in here? Who let this fucking demon in? Why is he here? Can we call SWAT? Can we get this fucking maniac out of here? He's sitting like in the back row. I was like, dude, what the fuck? I was like literally turning around, looking and shit. I was like, what the fuck is this? Is no one else aware of what's going on? I wasn't sure if other people in the theater were able to see the obvious, that there is this lone wolf sitting in the back of the theater, and it was one of those like those mass shooter backpacks. It wasn't like a fashion backpack. It wasn't. It was like one of those hiking backpack that are thick, all black with like multiple straps and shit. I was like, this is a killer. This is a fucking killer. So he walked in. No bullshit. Paul walked in maybe like 20, 25 minutes late and just walked very calmly up the steps. And I was like, nah, 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 nah. We have to address this. Because like, it's not like, and it's, you know, I'm trying to make this like a joke, but we're at a point in this country where it's so common. It's so common. Knowing my luck, I would be in a mass shooting. I would get killed, and the mass shooting would not get any traction. Wouldn't be trending on Twitter. The local news wouldn't even be like, and a local podcaster was killed in a mass shoot. Nothing. Nothing. The world would just move right on. That's how common these tragedies are. So this maniac walks in, and dude, I'm trying to focus on the movie. I got 70 minutes. I got a guy with a backpack and a baseball hat in the back of a movie behind me for 70 plus minutes. Would you be able to focus? You know how hard it is to focus on Sidney Prescott running from a killer? Whenever I got fucking Dylan Klebold sitting behind me, watching my back. It was terrifying. Surely it was terrifying. I was like, I am praying to God that this movie is not as bad as everybody's saying, so that the maniac behind me doesn't get like triggered. I'm hoping that the mass murderer sitting 50 feet behind me, who my back is to, in the dark, I am praying that he is okay with who the killers were revealed to be. That's what I was thinking. Because I don't want this guy to get pissed off, get activated and start doing something to make his voice heard to Kevin Williamson. You get what I'm saying? I mean, the whole plot of Scream 6 and Scream 7 is literally the fans turning on the movie franchise. That's the whole plot. That's the whole plot is toxic fans on Reddit just being pissed off at what the direction that the franchise is headed, at doing horrific things. So now I got a guy with a backpack and a baseball hat sitting behind me again for the 10th time. Sorry. I got that guy sitting behind me in this super meta experience that's going on. And I was like, this is it, man. This is it. And, the smart person, I should have left. I should have got the hell out of there. Should have got my shit and just waddled my fat ass out of there. But I didn't. I did it. I paid $20 for a ticket. The popcorn, the soda, I had to take out a fucking loan for that. All right. I paid for this experience. It's not going to be robbed by some schizophrenic. I'm not going to let that be taken from me. We shouldn't have that be allowed. Would I be saying that if something actually did happen? I would probably, probably have a different a thought process. But that was kind of my thoughts in the moment. Also, I was super comfortable. I was so comfortable, man. The soda, I was like maybe like 35% of my way through the huge bucket of soda. Just popcorn by the handful. That's salty and sweetness, dude. Ice cold, feet up. Dude, I wasn't going anywhere. Dude, even if he started shooting, I probably wouldn't have gotten up. I probably would have just kept eating, to be quite honest. Thank God nothing happened during the movie. But, on the way out, I kind of had to rush out. Normally I like to get a refill of the popcorn, another 3 minutes under the butter, another refill of soda, of course. Um, kind of stretch my legs, use a restroom, all that kind of stuff. I love the movie theater experience. I love it. I'm a kid of the early 2000s. That was like the pinnacle of happiness, of dopamine, was going to the movies. So normally I like doing this stuff. All this time I was able to just get a refill and I just got the hell out of Dodge. I'll be honest, because I left the theater first. Like the movie ended, I was like, we gotta bounce. We gotta leave right now because we don't know what this guy could be. Waiting to fucking everyone's in the lobby before he makes a move. I don't know what these fucking people. So as soon as the screen cuts to black, fucking scrambled out of there, made a beeline. The soda machine was on its way out right near the convenience stand and shit. Stopped by, literally like I was just walking by the soda machine. I just got some soda, Coke vanilla, and then I dipped because the guy was walking behind me. First place he went was the bathroom. Like, and it wasn't like, oh, I gotta, like, hey, I gotta use a restroom. You can tell when someone's like, oh shit, I gotta pee. He like menacingly walked, like very slow, kind of, very deliberate. Like, all right, I don't know. Maybe he was getting ready to take a shit. Maybe he was getting ready to shit up the theater. I don't know. But he had that type of body language. And I was like, I could see that as I was getting my refill, him heading towards the restroom. And I was like, nah, we're bouncing right now. Immediately. So I scurried my fat ass out of there to safety. No shootings that I know of. Thank God. Thank God I wasn't there if it happened. But yeah, that was my experience of going to see Scream 7. That's the normal experience for whenever you go to an American movie theater now. Whenever you want to go have a Saturday night, I want to go to the movie theaters, get a slice of Sbarro maybe. You have to accept the fact that whenever you enter that mall, the plaza area, whatever, these outlet spaces, these corporate slop spaces that are very nice, very, romantically lit. It's very, very nice, but it is corporate slop. Whenever you go to these spaces, you have to admit and you have to accept that you are probably going to end up on the news for some horrific crime that a schizophrenic decided to randomly commit. Right? That's a maniac that is probably, part of some CIA psyop that's been going on. You have to accept that one of those people may just decide to walk into your movie theater and call it a night. So yeah, that was my Saturday. Very, very nice. Came home after that, fell asleep immediately. I was exhausted. I was just exhausted. Got some Z's, had to get my rest to spew the hatred and the vile thoughts onto this show. Had to get well rested to get my thoughts out for all of you guys. Which I got a couple things actually that I want to, let me pull all of this up. And as a preface, sorry, my phone is getting those notifications. It's that time of the year where the baseball notifications are just going off every 5 to 10 minutes. For this next segment, I want us to dive in to a favorite character of mine. One of my favorite influencers, friend of the show. I've talked about him before. I've gotten feedback, people coming to defend him on his behalf. Oh, Angel, you're too hard on this guy. You should probably be nicer. Oh, Angel, maybe if you were nicer, you would be a lot more successful in life. You would be going a lot farther with your show and with collaborating. Fair criticisms, All fair criticisms, I'll give it to you. But now that we have video, I wanted to do a proper segment. So again, it's not just me describing reels like you're a blind man and I'm kind of describing a scene that's unfolding in front of us. I get to now show you the poison directly from the source. I don't have to ingest it and then give it to you guys. So here we go. Friend of the show, Hub's Life, my favorite online persona. And for some background, it is this guy right here. We're going to pull this guy up. You guys see this? Him. Hub's Life. In your 20s, someone will tell you to stop filming your normal life. I'm too stupid to read that fast. Maybe that's why he's more successful than me. Maybe because I can't read that fast. So it says, in your 20s, someone will tell you to stop filming your normal life. It's important that you don't listen to them. And then he goes on to become this giant celebrity that everybody loves. Right? You know this guy. Right? I'm not just like speaking to a wall. Right? You know this guy. It's okay, normalize the norm. It's okay to work a 9 to 5. You don't have to be an influencer. You guys know who I'm talking about, right? It's Hub's Life. He's a celebrity. He's a celebrity. Well, let me tell you something. I hate Hub's Life. I hate Hub's Life. I cannot stand this human being. Mr. 9 to 5 is doing giveaways. Look at this. So we'll back it up a little bit. All right, because there's a little bit of lore. And this isn't going to be like one of those fucking content slop YouTube channels, right? That goes like, well, to understand what's going on, we actually have to go look at this shit, man. We're not going to be like one of those content YouTube channels that's like, well, to understand what's going on, we actually have to go all the way back to 1982. And, it's like 45 minutes of his fucking childhood and then 5 minutes of actual information. We're not doing that. This is Hub's Life. You know him. The guy who says, oh, normalize the norm. Day in my life of the 9 to 5. Now, here's something that you guys may not know. Some of you may know. A lot of you probably do if you're in tune with the industry like I am. If you're in tune with the Matrix like myself, you will know that Mr. Hubs has recently started going through a little bit of a controversy. He's kind of going through a little bit of a crisis. All right? This man, he turned on his audience. So this is what I mean by that. He quit his 9 to 5 after he hit 1 million followers on Instagram with his entire content, his entire strategy, his entire persona. Him, Hub's Life, like that is him, the man who works a 9 to 5, the average Joe. The second this man got a semblance of success on the internet, he immediately switched everything about himself. He quit his job. Here, let me see if this is the video. Hey, I'm Hub. I quit my job to pursue my passion full time and to build something on my own. Dig it. I'm a true believer that the 9 to 5 can act as a foundation to build whatever life you want. No, it's not. No, it's literally not. Okay? That's one of my whole issues with this guy. Is this whole thing is like normalize the norm. So I want to get that established right off the bat. Okay? Do you know how like disconnected you have to be? Most people that I talk to are telling me that the 9 to 5 isn't enough to live a basic life. They're telling me it is not enough A 9 to 5 is not enough to live a basic life. Meanwhile, we got Mr. World Knower over here who is saying that a 9 to 5 is more than enough to build a foundation for whatever it is that you want in life. So let that sit for a couple of minutes. All right. And he goes on to talk about, oh yeah, well my hobby was videography. This is a whole right. Hey, this all just happened to blow up. Here we go. Hey man, this was all just a hobby. This was just a hobby, and I accidentally went viral. Really, Hubs? Really? Why don't you tell the people about the last account that you had before this, where you were actively trying to be an influencer, where this was the norm was not your niche before this. Your first attempt was trying to be a traditional influencer, but you failed. Nothing wrong with failing. I fail all the time. Some would say this podcast is failing right now. Hey, it is what it is. But you failed, and then you pivoted and tried this whole, I'll just normalize that. Hey man, I don't even need all of that. I don't even need all of that. So now he's trying to do the whole, hey man, this was all an accident. It was all just one happy accident, and I'm just thankful. Hey, we only get one chance at this life, brother. And so I feel like the Lord, he gave me this chance. This accident happened to do something great. So that's this guy. Working out. Yeah, he had a kid. Congrats. Everyone has a kid. That's not a big fucking deal. An opportunity. God came a knocking, and he just said, hey, Hubs, this is for you. Be more present at home, whatever that even means. Be more present. You have your home rigged with tripods. Be more present at home. Well, okay. And a lot of you are gonna be like, hey, you know what, Angel? You shouldn't be this mean. This is really fucked up. The guy has a million fall. This isn't me punching up. This is me punching into outer space. So I'm allowed to do this. All Glasses is allowed to do this. All right. And also, I'm right. I'm absolutely right. Hey man, if God gave me this opportunity, wouldn't you do the same? Wouldn't you do the same, brother? Oh God. Look at this, man. This just pisses me off. Look at this house, bro. Oh my. That fucking dude, that drives me up that drives me up a fucking wall. But yeah, man, this shit just it truly upsets me, because it's just people. This is like really just downplaying your life in a way. Hey man, it's all right to live this life. Yeah, it absolutely is. You live a phenomenal life. I know people that are starving, that they will not be eating dinner tonight because they cannot afford food. Hubs. That's a normal in this country. I don't know if that's a normal. It's definitely not a normal in Highland Park, Dallas. And so now, with all of that backstory, right? You have this guy who lives a phenomenal life, and he is now trying to pivot. He is now trying to find his new niche, because people are turning on Hubs. People are turning on this poor man who just wanted to normalize the norm. Let me see here. There was a pretty good one that I wanted to show you guys. Look at this dude. He calls beers cold snacks. He called Hey man, let's go get a cold snack and watch some college basketball, man. Just absolutely, absolutely pointless, pointless content. And I know that's saying something coming from me and my dog shit podcast, right, spew nonsense and hate. But this guy, he's dead inside. Look at the eyes, man. The eyes don't lie. They never, even when he's happy, you can tell there's still some dead inside because his entire life has been resorted to filming up a tripod. His entire life is setting up a tripod. And I know I've made vlogs and content on Instagram. I've literally set up tripods in public. I am not going to act like I am above doing that. I've done it. I've done it. I think it's cool whenever you do it right. When it's executed with a certain way, it can be done done in an entertaining way. I don't know what the hell. This is just depressing content where you are just trying to minimize or downplay how great everything is. Matt, who has a group of friends, 4 or 5 friends that comes over every weekend, every other weekend, and you guys grill and you have beer and on your AstroTurf, and you make $250,000 a year. You don't pay any taxes. You have a fucking smoking hot wife. You have 1 million followers on Instagram. Life, literally, that's literally the American dream, if you think about it. The modern day American dream is to have 7-figure followers on Instagram and a gorgeous family, and to actually be able to afford the white picket fence lifestyle. To actually be able to afford that, because God knows how expensive that American dream is. So to be able to actually afford all of those things is nowhere near normal. Nowhere near normal. And let me tell you something. I know people like this. And you know people like this. You know, they probably went to college, Texas Tech, Texas A&M, TCU. Definitely went to TCU. That's the more pricier school, right? They went to TCU. You know, their parents probably paid their tuition in full. No student debt. Probably met their smoking hot wife like sophomore, junior year after they ran through half of the school. So they like ready to settle down. You know, tuition covered, never had to walk into a academic advisor's office just sweating and having panic attacks because you can't afford the $50,000 of tuition this fucking semester. Just living a great life. Same group of friends, right? Those 5 bozos named Renner and Rapey Steve or some fucking meaningless bullshit like that. You know, graduated school. Parents probably had some pool with a nice, office where you could work his way up quickly. Got hired onto there. Parents bought him a house. Parents covered the down payment of a house. They do, cover the mortgage. Oh, well, with that situation, we can get the new AstroTurf. That type of bullshit. They have a dog, golden retriever or a lab or whatever the hell. That's this guy. Normal. Normal, guys. Lived a fucking movie life. Movie life. If I had half of that life, I would be on my hands and knees thanking God every single day. But that's normal. That's normal. So that is my beef with Mr. Hub's life. It's weird. It's just there's levels of fucked up, and this is the next level of truly fucked up. It's a psyop. It's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Of, hey, I'm just one of you guys, man. I'm just one of you guys. But we're gonna move on. I don't want to spend too much time just verbally assaulting people on the internet. Even though this person sucks my ass, and he probably deserves the hate, to be quite honest, because he has turned every single piece of aspect of his life into content. Right? He's filming the birth of his kid, basically making an Instagram story of his kid coming out of his wife's vagina. And I was doing it. Just these people, they're soulless creatures. You see them all the time. And it really is just, I feel like it's an indicator of just how rotten society is. Speaking of society, I came across a new website. I don't want to take up too much time with this. I just thought it was interesting, to be quite honest. I wanted to share it. It's our best friend. Here we go. This is insane. Now, for those of you that don't know what this is, let me adjust the screen a little bit so you can see. Let me adjust the screen a hair. So basically, a developer, I guess, he went through all of the Epstein emails, all the files, and he composed them into a website that looks like Gmail. It's called Jmail. I kid you not. It's called Jmail. Jmail.world. Basically, the guy, he made a website that looks like a Gmail account, and it's all of the emails that he sent, that he received. Basically it's like POV, you're Jeffrey Epstein looking at your email account, and it's truly insane. I showed this to a couple people, and they were like, "Oh, that's old," and I was like, "All right, sorry, I don't live on TikTok." I just came across this. Let's do Elon Musk. Let's have some fun, shall we? Elon Musk appreciates the invitation to the ranch, but has commitments. Launch on February 25th at SpaceX is confirmed. Leslie Gritz. Oh. So, yeah, this is all Elon. Let's do Island. Not as juicy as I thought with the island keyword. If you're audio only, you probably want to tap in for this segment at least, so you can get a visual understanding. It's wild, right? This is kind of wild. I really just wanted to mention it in passing. Maybe we do a deep dive. I really would love to do the Jeffrey Epstein, just a deep dive of it. But it's so much work. It's so much work. But I that's a rabbit hole I love going down. I will be honest. I love watching YouTube videos of schizophrenics claiming that Jeffrey Epstein is still alive in his New Mexico ranch, which I truly believe, but some people say I'm crazy. So believe what you will, take my word with a grain of salt. But I truly believe he's still alive. So seeing stuff like this really, really kind of just like the gears in my head start turning. Let me see. So yeah, let me know if you wanna do a full episode. I mean, people are gonna be like, yeah, let's do a full episode, but like a specific. I was thinking of really just diving into the New Mexico ranch because that is such a dense topic on itself. Maybe next episode. I think I might do next episode. Um, but yeah, uh, let me know if there's any specific, you know, specific topics within the Jeffrey Epstein, world realm. It's like the fucking Avengers, but for satanic pedophiles. Here, let's try this. Let's just make sure. Let's just make sure. Oh, okay, that's not me, not me, not me, not me. Hey. Woo! Anyways, yeah, that is something I wanted to show you guys in passing because it is genuinely insane. The hell is it? Redaction. Yeah, so for all of you schizophrenics out there that want to take a look, it's right here. Let me pull this down a little bit. Cool. jmail.world. Not Jewish mail, Jeffrey Mail. That's what the J stands for. jmail.world. And just have at it, I guess. Go through it. Act like you're I guess one of these powerful people in the world doing horrific crimes and role play in that. I know some of you are into that kind of weird shit. Me personally, I'm probably just going to be going through. I might just go through and look at the emails of important people and email them to see if they would invest in Kiwi. I think that might be a good to go through here and just send them my pitch deck. Just slide it out there. Maybe, hey, not you, but like a friend who isn't involved in this, who wouldn't mind, cutting a check. Maybe can you forward this to them. Who knows? I'm a businessman. Business first, revenue first, all the time. Okay. Those are all the segments that I really had for this week. I'm really enjoying having video. I'm like really, really enjoying this whole just where I can just set up and we can just, every week you can tune in and slowly I just go more and more down the spiral. You just slowly see a man lose his sanity as time goes by. I'm not sure what the setup. Let me know if you guys like the setup. I kind of like it as like a lo-fi. I ignore any whitewashed, not whitewashed, but any overexposed. I'm going to try to fix that in post. Still dealing with the, lighting stuff, but we're getting the hang of it. Let me know if any tips on sets. This is literally not my bedroom. It's a recreation of my bedroom in downtown San Francisco in a high rise. But let me know if I should, add neon lights or any of that generic shit. People love the generic podcast, and so do I. They love the generic with the wooden panels in the background and a couch. One of those expensive $500 microphones. They love that. We might just have to do that. Who knows? But yeah, I'm really enjoying having video. I'm really enjoying where the direction of this podcast is starting to head, to be quite honest. And yeah, it's really making me just, for the time being, excited to keep coming back week after week. I know it's only been 2 episodes, but we're getting there. We are getting there, people. If you made it this far, thank you all for listening. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. If you're new here, do me a favor. Follow the podcast on Spotify. Rate it 5 stars. 5 stars only. Okay? 5-star reviews only. This is my livelihood. So I want 5 stars only if you're going to review it. And thank you for tagging along. Thank you guys for reaching out and letting me know you enjoy the show. Sometimes it feels like no one's listening, but then I'll just kind of get like not an influx, but just like a couple of DMs or a comment or something like that, and You know, reassuring that we're making strides forward. With all that being said, thank you guys. I love all of you. Let's keep pushing forward. Thanks for tuning in. And I will see all of you next week. Also, tell your friends about the podcast, please. I'm begging you, please tell your friends. I need this, please. And post on your Instagram story. If you love me, you will post this on your Instagram story. All right. Thank you all. Love you. Peace.